This is a tribute to my father. He was born December 24, 1953. That makes him 72 right now. My mother once said, "Tell the people that you love the most how you really feel about them before they pass away." Hopefully this gives you an idea of how important your family is. Give them the same tribute if you wish. My father taught me a really valuable lesson, and I want to impart this to you guys at the end of the video. To start us off, the first lesson that my father taught me when I was really young was to be resourceful. So when I was younger, I was like 7 or 8, I used to struggle with doing my homework. I relied a lot to my dad to tutor me or help me with my lessons in science or math. And I even remember we had a whole encyclopedia set that, to be honest, just collected dust. Me and my brothers and sister, we just let it be and we hardly opened it. So a lot of times when I was younger, I bluntly asked my dad about the answers to questions. He had a question that always made me think and made me feel guilty at the same time. So he asks me, "Have you read the lesson?" So it made me think, have I read the lesson? 9 times out of 10, no. He knows that I haven't read the lesson. So he tells me to go read the lesson and then answer the questions. A few days later, I come back again. I ask again, "Hey, what's the answer to this question?" He rebuttals again with his question saying, "Have you read the lesson?" "No, I haven't." And then he tells me to read the lesson before you come at me. 3, 4 times, 5 times this happened. I got tired of asking him, and basically he's giving me a valuable lesson to learn that I got to take initiative and read and be resourceful. If I can't find it in the book, find it elsewhere, maybe the encyclopedia set that he bought. Be more resourceful. Now we're in the age of Google where we can just type something and get information right away. I always get asked about some trivial things about science, about geography, and things like that. I just tell people, Google it. So that's the first thing my dad taught me that is highly valuable, and I wish you can impart that in your daily lives. Years after, in Hawaii, during my college years, I was set and ready to go to Las Vegas where I'm going to be studying film, specifically at UNLV. Now, my parents are quite old-fashioned coming from the Philippines. They know the value of education, degrees like medical field, the accounting field. For them, film is like a hobby. My dad didn't stop from asking me, "Why don't you take accounting?" At that time, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I didn't see it that way. I was prideful and selfish that, hey, I'm the one who's paying for my tuition. I'm going to be studying what I want to study. Fast forward to about 20 years after, I've taken about 3 introductory accounting classes from different colleges, and it's kind of goes back in full circle that I do need some accounting basics for business, and it seems that my father was right all along, and I feel a little bit shameful for not taking his advice, but at the same time, I felt that it's never too late. I can still take an accounting degree if I want to, but it's never going to be the same anymore. I guess take it with a grain of salt. Maybe things would have been different if variables in my life would have been different as well. And then the last lesson that my father imparted with me, which is I think is the most important. There was one saying that really stuck to me all throughout these years. There's only 2 types of people in this world. There's ones that learn from their mistakes and ones that learn from others. If you can, take the latter. With every person that you talk to, interact with everything that you ingest from the internet, anything that is substantial, those are always lessons that you can take it with you, be a lesson for you so you don't have to learn the lessons the hard way. So for example, when I have a question about something that is highly specialized, I try to go to a person, an actual person to talk to. I usually go to people with credibility and also have experience within the field, learn lessons from others so you don't have to learn it the hard way. In relation to this last lesson that my father imparted me about learning from others instead of learning on your own, a little piece of my mind is probably resentful for not taking his advice or giving it much thought, where I could have taken accounting, things would have been different. But at the same time, there's lessons in life where you're gonna have to learn on your own, and that's okay. That's part of living, that's part of failing successfully. I think that all these lessons are meant to be because I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. And where I'm supposed to be right now has a lot to do with my marriage. It's not always peaches and cream, guys. I can tell you more about that by clicking this video.